What the fuck? Hey guys, what's up? Let's be honest. I forget how to turn the video part of this off, so I'm just fucking doing a video podcast. There's probably a word for that. I don't know what it fucking is. Enjoy. So anyway, I haven't done one of these in a while, but I get the house to myself. I can be as loud as I need to be. That's awesome. So today, we're gonna do a little something special. I have nothing planned. I have no script written. I have an idea of something to cover in my head, but that's about it. We're gonna have a little fun today with our NSFL podcast, which I haven't done in enough months that I forgot what I called it. I'll look that up on YouTube when I load it up. So, for those of you who don't know, I am Adam S., former HO, former GM, former this, former that, blah 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 blah. You can look up the shit. But I'm the NSFL's resident old curmudgeonly smartass drunken add your own adjective here. And just making sure my beer doesn't foam over here. It's always important when you drink beer from the bottle is if you're too aggressive, the foam will just. Every time that happens, my wife's always like, "Oh, your beer got a little excited," because she's a smartass too. Anyway, let's talk some NSFL. A lot of interesting things happening this year. In my personal case, obviously, is my rookie season with the Yellowknife Wraiths. First time playing a different character than Charlie Law. It's been really great thus far. Loving Dick Wizardry. Love that name. Yellowknife has been great. Love the locker room. Davy's a good GM. It's been a very different experience than what I've been used to for the first year of my NSFL time period. My hands are going to kind of come in and out of frame because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. The best part is like everybody over 30 understands what's happening with my hands outside where you can't see. 2 minutes in, we are rambling about fucking nothing. It's a classic Adam podcast, I guess. So what's going on? A lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna click on the website where you guys can't see. I was thinking about possibly throwing in complete overreaction into here instead of writing an article about it. But those need to be planned out a little bit, like just not a ton. I tend to mostly go off the top of my head. Those need to be planned out for a little bit. So I don't know if I'm gonna fully do that, but I probably will. Anyway, in the meantime, I think we should look over the standings and see what's going on here. You're not gonna see it on the screen. I don't know how to do that shit. I'm sure I know how to do that shit if I Google it, but I'm not fucking Googling it. I'm already here. So, obviously, we've got the Orange County Otters at 11-1, retaking their rightful fucking throne atop the league. Da 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 da, long live the king. And I think it really just, that pauses me going, wow, am I really gonna do this shit talking this fast? I guess I am. San Jose. You knew it was gonna be you. San Jose. Wow, you fucked that up hard. You fucked that up so hard. You fucked up. You have done fucked up. You have done fucked up now. Now you have fucked up. I'm not gonna do the entire fucking Whitest Kids You Know thing, but you know where I'm going with that. You fucked up. You lost to the Yeti. You didn't just lose to the Yeti. You fucking got crushed by the Yeti. What the fuck is that shit? This is my first time, by the way, actually double checking what happened yesterday, other than my own game. Which, calling it a game is being very generous to how our team performed. Yeti Tank. Yeti Tank? Did I say Yeti Tank? I did, because I'm looking at them. Fucking A. It's only the first one, I swear. Probably should have eaten something first, though. Goddamn, how bad did you... 3 interceptions, like, barely hit over 50% passing. Running game was great, of course, because that running game is fucking solid as fuck. It's just, you just got crushed by the Yeti at home? You were at home, and you got crushed by the Yeti. You were at home, trying to cling to the possibility of having home field in the playoffs, and you got crushed by the Yeti. Let's say that one more time. You, the San Jose SaberCats, when it was important, you let the motherfucking Colorado Yeti beat you. Your stadium. Up in San Jose. Wine country. Beautiful place. You went home, getting the shit kicked out of you by the Yeti, and you went to your personal vineyards. There really are a bunch around there. I can tell you very much from having been there a bunch of times. Yes, the area is surrounded by vineyards and ocean and fucking hipster restaurants and I like that. That's the third thing on the list is and hipster restaurants. Anyway, here's your rent, which is astronomical. Does Adam talk worse than he types? Occasionally. So, yeah, you started this fucking year with 8 straight wins. Just boom, you were kicking ass. When I was making those overreaction columns about how you were gonna blow it, I was fucking with you. I was kidding. You're not supposed to actually do that. What the fuck, guys? Fuck. You just like you lost to the Outlaws at home too. What is with you losing at home to 5 and 7 teams? Like you just this game wasn't even close. It wasn't even 31-10 until there were 2 minutes left and you scored a random meaningless touchdown. Look, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Let's talk about somebody else. The Otters. Ooh, fucking the Otters. Y'all are just. You are what you are. You've got one loss on the entire season as an away game to those guys we're not going to talk about. And realistically, you were beating them more than you won by near the end. And you guys relaxed. This is a team that is killing it. You really have a shot of going into the playoffs with the best record anyone has. I think Arizona was 12-2, like season 2 or season 3, something like that. But I mean, you've got Yellowknife at home. We're gonna help you with that one. And then you've got Arizona on the road, which could be tough. Arizona is not exactly like they're better than their record indicates. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I would say they're better than their record indicates. But you got a real shot of being 13-1 going into the playoffs, hosting obviously what will be the SaberCats, who I think we already discussed them earlier in the program. That's some of that technical language. Earlier in the program, we already covered this topic. Thank you. But you guys are killing it though. Just sort of exceeding expectations all over the board. I remember preseason, a lot of people didn't think Ricky Adams was going to be a big deal. He's crushing it. You got young guys at different positions. You got enough people to cover for the fact that Carlito Crush is still a minor disappointment. That's kind of his whole career arc, in case you haven't picked up on that in some of my articles. I'm Carlito Crush. I'm going to be almost great all the time. I'm going to try to steal players. Anyway, you have my favorite receiver in the league, Tegan Atwell. Yeah, you didn't see that coming, did you? Shout out to my boy Ziggly. Ziggly. I fucking said Ziggly. Well, I've just combined Dolph Ziggler and Jiggly, so that's fucking terrifying. Again, swear, first one. I'm not even halfway through the damn. Okay, I'm halfway through the damn thing now. Just this is what happens when someone does something off the cuff without thinking about it. Yes, I'm checking my text messages right now. So, Otters, you're killing it. You're just fucking killing it. You're just killing it. I mean, Adams is probably not going to hit 1,000 yards, but that's just because he's got a pretty good split with. Yeah, I'm not going to say that fucking name. Who is that? Is that Zephyrus? Zephyrus. Who's fucking Zephyrus? I have to look it up on the site because I know who it is, but I just don't. know who it is. I know stuff, but I don't know stuff. Oh, it's Hawk. Yeah. See, that makes sense. I knew it was somebody good. I can't fucking pronounce words today. Granted, I rolled out of bed like 45 minutes ago, and I am admittedly drinking without having eaten first. But I mean, while I'm here on the roster page, let's talk about that for a moment. Because there are people out there who go, hey, how do I build a good team? What if I'm GMing one day? And in the tradition of ESPN and all those sports networks, you have a GM who didn't quite cut it, giving you an analysis about other GMs. So let me run you through some of the names on this roster. Not the player names, mind you. The handler names. You get Stamkos fan. Big hockey sim guy. Guy who knows what to do. Red Sirnath. That guy's Sidranath. I've been saying Sirnath for like a year now. Sidrath. Red Sidrath. Mark Spector. That dude's been around forever. He knows what he's doing. You got Dwyer, obviously, the fucking commissioner. The guy who's in multiple leagues. He's a GM in SBA. Motherfucker still didn't draft me. Yeah, come on, he speaks for himself when you force him to, because otherwise he won't do anything. It's the boy. Hawk, as I mentioned, he went away, he's been back, he is a former head office member, he's a dude who knows how things work. You got Troutner, who came in and just been on fire since then. Moeller is obviously still here, he's been here since pretty much the beginning. You got, let's see, Firebread Toasty, my boy Toasty. You know, he's a guy who knows how to get things done and knows how to do things. Speculadora, the Sneck himself, one of my favorite people actually, as much as, you know, we do the whole Sneck thing from the old Nola days. But yeah, dude knows what he's doing. You got a lot of people on this roster who are like, we're just going to do shit, we got shit covered. I mean, that's not even counting like old heads, sorry buddy, like TC. I know he's retiring after this year, but the fact that he's been there this whole time really sets the tone for the culture in the locker room, because as I've told multiple people multiple times, Time Consumer is a top 5 locker room guy in any league I've been in. Period. End of story. Other period. Is it backup? I don't know. So having somebody like that in there is huge. And then of course Jiggly, who I mentioned a few minutes ago, he is a very different kind of locker room presence. But he also drives a whole like thing he can do as well. So when you have that whole locker room together with all these people, you mix all these personalities, and this is how you mix, by the way. If you don't have something holding here, you can't mix it. You can't even see it. Look at that. I just realized this is the mix motion right here. Just enjoy it. It smells so good. It's good. It's good. It's really coming together as a dish. Anyway, when you have Adam is exactly the way I thought he was in real life. Yeah, he's a weird motherfucker. When you have people like that in your locker room, it breeds activity, it breeds discussion there, and that stuff very much carries over into the league. And you got guys and girls at times, when depending on the history, where in the team's history they are, you fucking know what I mean. You got people just working because they're like, I'm into this team, I'm invested in this team, I'm gonna make sure I do as much as I can for this team. I'm gonna, not just update. I'm gonna be like, hey guys, what is my best update attribute right now? Oh, we'll do this, and you got a lot of people who have the knowledge to be like, put it here. So not only do you have invested characters, you have characters being built, you have characters being built well, and that translates to a team that was like down for like 2 seasons, and down is a really rough descriptor considering I think they missed the playoffs once, ever, or twice, whatever. And now they're just, we might be the best team in history, second best team in history. We might have the best record in history. You still won't beat that one NOLA team that set the record for like points for and points against. Just saying. But anyway, that's what's up with the Otters. Your probable Ultima's champions this year. Because really, barring something super weird happening, I just don't see it. Sabercats already proved that they are like the Lion and Wizard of Oz for like the first 3/4 of the movie. Just shy away from everything. Outlaws, obviously, and the second line are both eliminated. Yellowknife is eliminated. Tank for pick number 1. Who's it gonna be? Actually, I kind of know who it's gonna be. I just can't tell you. Intrigue. Perhaps I could lick some peaks. Lick some peaks. I could lick some peaks. There's nobody in this direction, but I'm gonna look there. Lick some peaks. Daisy, I said lick some peaks. Where are you at? Oh, you're sleeping. Okay. Well, right. Leak some pics. This is the worst podcast ever. Why did I think like just doing it off the cuff was gonna be a great idea? I don't even understand. That's why his name is Davey. I don't read the shit that's giving me half the time. Like, some of y'all know this, but I don't read the shit that's giving me half the time. Yes, I know who the number 1 pick's gonna be. Ooh, it's gonna be a good one, too. It's gonna be a good one. Sexy, yeah. Actually, now that I'm looking at the draft class, because that's where I'm at, looking at the list of draft class that I've got written down. Let's talk about some of these people. This isn't a super deep draft class like the last 2 have been, because now we're hitting that point in the timeline that was about season 4, season 5, in terms of players retiring, and that was a pretty weak time period for players coming in, and it didn't pick back up until season 6, season 7. So in the following year from here, you'll really start seeing those people start to retire. Season 6 people, season 7 people, as well as whatever ridiculous holdovers were left over from season 2, season 3. Of which I think there are very few at this point. I mean, season 2 is Dermot, and I think he's still going to stick around for a little bit. And season 3 is who the fuck is he left? Trey, I guess. But season 2, Demirio is still left over. And when you get Demirio, 40% of the time you get most active people in the league. And the other 60% of the time, nobody knows where the fuck he is. But yeah, we got a pretty interesting draft class. It is extremely top heavy, but also has some people in it that I think could do some stuff. And you've got the obvious heavyweights coming out this season. You've got Ahriman is back. AP is back, Asylum Party, for those people who don't know. You've got Noble who's back. Yeah, I'm counting Noble as a heavyweight because he came back. He's handled his shit. He's caused no problems. He's done nothing that suggests anything like what he did before. He's expressed regret. He's expressed that it was stupid. He's expressed that he's gotten smarter and more wise and moved on. And I've seen that now in multiple leagues since he's also in the NSHL. Shout out to the NSHL. What's up? I'm going to do a podcast with the NSHL. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I can't fucking pronounce it, but I'm going to do that shit. So you've got people like that. You've got even people who are sort of low-key heavyweights like Rich. Rich isn't a super publicly active guy, but he's always been a fairly active dude. He was on the Outlaws for a long time. He's a guy who makes good characters. He's got a defensive end now, which is interesting because that's always a very, very sought after position. It's a hard position to cover because there aren't as many stats, but it's an easy position for a player to get good at without maximum effort, which is always nice. You've got people like Base Scout, who is well known in other leagues. Jay Blaze, used to be Mike Boss. He came out with a tight end. We'll see how that goes. You got somebody like Jeff Ox, who's been active in other leagues and is kind of just getting back into the swing of stuff. He took a little time off. And he did the same thing in SBA, so I'm thinking he's going to be pretty big. But Toivo, of course, just, I'll try to talk to him about future contracts. He doesn't like that. But yeah, it's a little, like I said, it's a little top heavy. You've only got really 24 prospects, and let's be honest, 15 of them are real. You got 2 kickers who are active, which is interesting, and both named Frost somehow. Is this 2 of the lacrosse guys? I feel like it's 2 of the lacrosse guys. If it's not 2 of the lacrosse guys, I'm sorry for confusing you. That should just be. I should just wear a shirt like that at all times. I'm sorry for confusing you. I might have to pause again with a beer. Either way, I think this is one of those draft classes that is probably not going to be as well thought of at this particular moment. In part because it is a little tough. We don't have that many new people. We have a few new people. We don't have that many, so we'll see sort of how that goes. But I think next season's gonna be even better, especially because next season's draft. But I'm sorry to this season's draft. I'm so sorry. I'm about to totally overshadow you, and I apologize for that. But it kind of is a thing that's just gonna happen now. You guys, in fact, let's just call it what it is. You guys came after one of the strongest draft classes that's been in the league, period. And you guys are coming before what is already one of the most famous draft classes because you have 2 motherfuckers in Time Consumer and Raven who both recreated in that draft. Big heavyweight season 1 players who both made quarterbacks right at a time when several of those mid-history quarterbacks are getting ready to retire. That's motherfucking huge. So this particular draft class in season 13, I like that everyone knew what this was. I'm looking at a sheet right here of names, and you guys are gonna get overshadowed. It's just what's gonna happen. It doesn't matter that you have 2 former head office members in your draft class, 3, I think technically. It does. You guys are getting overshadowed. I'm sorry. It's what's gonna happen, just because of the circumstance and the timing. Because we don't even know what else is happening in that next draft class, but we know Time Consumer and Raven, the fucking quarterbacks. So these are max earned, long term, fight regression, locker room heavyweight dudes. Just that alone is it's what the NFL thought Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning was going to be. It's what they thought, Luck and RG3 are going to be. It's what they still think last year is going to be. Last year might actually live up to the hype. This is it's almost like the legendary 1984 quarterback draft class, which some of you are way too young to fucking know about. But it's that draft class that had fucking Jim Kelly and Dan Marino and John Elway, and it was just fucking stupid ridiculous. So we will see what happens, but I'm sorry, season 13 draft class, you're getting overshadowed. It's just what it is. I'm looking at the note here of who the Rays are going to take first overall, by the way. I'm not telling you what it is, but I'm looking at the note. It says notes right there. I'm not going to tell you what's written there. It might be nothing. I might be bluffing. You don't know. You can't know. This is, it's very entertaining, I'm sure. Anyway, let's get back to the league. Let's talk about the NSFC, because who doesn't love talking about a good garbage fire? And on that joke, I'm going to be back in 10 seconds. I am literally going to go to the fridge, get a beer, and come back while you sit here and watch, because that's the kind of unprofessionalism I love. first beer today was a Blue Moon Pumpkin Ale. Fuck you. Yeah, basic white bitch. It's fun. And then this one currently, make sure I got the label in there. This is a blonde ale by, I'm not gonna fuck that up, Kanaha. I apologize to anyone who actually knows how to speak Polynesian. It's a blonde ale with a little bit of mango in it. Really fucking good. Love me a good blonde ale. They're lighter. They tend to be more flavorful. You get like sort of a better. It just when you taste something and it hits you here and then it hits you back here, and like the flavoring when it hits you back here is just really good, which isn't always the case for beer. A lot of times beer only wants to hit you here, and when you get back here, you're like, oh god, why did I put that in my mouth? There's a t-shirt. Oh god, why did I put that in my mouth? Anyway, speaking of why did I put that in my mouth, the NSFC is a garbage fire. Nobody has an actual winning record. I'm going to repeat that. We are 12 out of 14 games into the season. Nobody has an actual winning record. 19 wins for the entire conference combined. As just a frame of reference, the Otters, the Sabercats, have 20 wins by themselves. ASFC continues to dominate the league as it has pretty much since the inception. It is what it is. It's the way things are right this particular second. But let's talk about what is interesting. The Baltimore Hawks did not have home field advantage sewed up. They are 6-6, as are the Liberty. And they have to host the Sabercats, not a guaranteed victory by any stretch. They have to go to the second line, also not a victory by any stretch. They could very well finish the season 6-8, which could miss the playoffs. We'll get there in just a second. Now, Liberty also hosts the Sabercats, so let's just assume both lose. And we're in a little bit of a race to see which team actually hosts, because they're both 6-6 right now. So assuming they both get in, which again, not guaranteed, could be interesting. Now see, what's important though for the Liberty is that their other game is on the road against the Yeti. Now the Yeti are sitting right behind these other two teams at 5-7. And the Yeti have 2 home games. One versus the Liberty, one versus the Wraiths. Wraiths, what's up? Hashtag Wraiths never freeze. Never freeze. I should probably not impersonate Black Panther, but for like so many obvious reasons. Still, it's a great line. I never freeze. Shout out to Chadwick Boseman. Yes, and again, making sure my beard doesn't overflow. It got excited. So the Wraiths, I feel like the Wraiths. I love the Wraiths. Talking about the Wraiths, even it's not about the Wraiths. #1 draft pick, almost guaranteed. Anyway, the Yeti have 2 home games. Philadelphia, Yellowknife. The Yeti have a very strong shot, going 2-0 in their last 2 games, finishing 7-5. And in the process, if they do that, they have a strong shot of moving into the playoffs. They actually have a decent shot of somehow hosting, which again shows you what the NSFC is really working with this year, which is not much. But getting in is getting in. Getting a shot is getting a shot. And if the Yeti managed to pull this off with the roster they fucking have, 2 years in a row. Holy shit. I don't know how you can't give those guys GM of the year again. I don't know. You can't. You have to. Their roster. But do me a favor. Do me a huge, huge favor. And the fact that you're actually listening to and or watching this says you should be the kind of person who does this. Go look at the Yeti roster page. I'm going to look with you right now. I'm going to give you a moment to pull it up. Oh, somebody responded to one of my comments on YouTube. I'm sure that won't be racist, sexist, or horrible. Oh, you have text messages from my wife while I'm waiting on people. Ooh. My wife text messaged me pictures of the lights. I do have the response. Right. Okay. So I've given you a chance. We're going to go down. We're going to click the link to the Yeti roster. Okay? Let's talk about the Yeti roster. Let's talk about why, for 2 seasons, I keep going, oh my god, look at the amazing fucking job they're doing. Okay? Let me, as someone who has the experience, who knows what it takes to take a not a great roster and someone immediately went, well, you traded away good people, so it's your fault. Whatever. Someone knows how to take not a great roster and try to turn it into a winning team. Let's talk about the amount of players they have that have hit 400 TP. James Bishop, who's a rookie. This isn't a polysympathetic effect. I'm looking down the roster. Mark Grau, inactive. Just barely over 400 both cases. Obviously, Mycycle McCormick and Howard Miller. Michael Tillman, the safety, is at 400. And that's it. That's the whole goddamn list. That's 5 names. 5. And 3 of those 5 are at 400 and under 50. They have 2 players over 430 or 440 or whatever the fuck it is. That's it. Oh, Ishigawa. Okay, sorry. Okay, one extra. That's what they've done to pull 5 goddamn wins out of that fucking squad after managing to have enough of a record to get into the playoffs last year. First of all, it really puts things into perspective. If you haven't really understood, it's fucking serious, no. If you don't really understand what people have been saying about the mess this team was left in, the mess that Drop Bear's been trying to clean up, the mess that like fucking they've been dealing with, you don't really get that. Just think about what I just fucking told you. It's 3 people over 450 TP. 3, for those of you who need visuals. 1 quarterback who is sitting at 1100 something TP, and who some of their TPE because of position switch aren't really there. So he's more like in a 1000. You've got 1 wide receiver, and you see it every fucking sim, where like 80% of their game is like, oh, nothing's happening, and then Howard Miller flies across the field with the ball for 70 yards. You've got 1 linebacker who's just over 500. And he's in regression, so I don't even know if that's actually true anymore. And then you've got a couple of young guys. That's it. That's all they've got. And they're at 5-7. They got a shot at not just making the playoffs, but hosting a playoff game. And you're gonna tell me that somehow there's another team that like deserves GM of the year? Like I get that an argument could be made for Orange County. I get that. I don't want to dismiss Orange County. I already talked about them. You know my feelings on them and what they've done and how they've achieved it. It is a great achievement. In most years where normal shit is happening, they would almost be a shoe-in because they built that roster. They took previous success and they just were like, we're adding to it. They didn't just like, I'm a rich kid, I'm just gonna live off my daddy's money. No, they fucking turned money into money into money. But this, this team, the Yeti, they turned fucking no money into some money. Like, I don't know how they're doing it. I'm looking at the shit. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't. And last I checked, the last GM to have only one player over 600 and have a winning record was this guy. So keep that in mind when I'm telling you I don't know how they're fucking pulling this off. I'm the guy who would fucking know. So these guys are fucking amazing. And Drop is just a fucking just GM, okay? And yes, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to give credit to the co-GM as well. I'm bad at that. I apologize because sometimes because they've gone through a lot of GM teams, and I forget who Drop hired. I was in the running for that at one point in my life before I decided I kind of didn't want to GM in this league, which is a whole other video that I'm not going to put out. Anyway, so that's the Eddie. That's the NSFC playoff situation, which could be summed up in an interpreted dance as this. No one knows what the fuck's gonna happen. Any fucking 7 things could happen right now. So that's gonna be interesting. But here's what's important about that. Nothing. I'm kidding. The ASFC winner, even if the Saberhats were to somehow overcome the Otters in Orange County in the playoffs, the ASFC winner will have home field advantage. Which means the NSFC winner is going to be at a disadvantage no matter what, because on the road, clearly worse team, no matter what. Bar none. Fight. It's very obvious that every team in the NSFC is worse than the top 2 teams in the ASFC. But that doesn't mean you don't have a chance. You have a puncher's chance in the Ultimates. You get to the Ultimates. You get to that title game. You got a shot. Not a good shot, but a shot. 30% is better than 0%. And if you need someone with a stronger background in math than I do to double check that for you, make sure to hit up Dwyer on Discord and on the site. Make sure you have him check that math for you. He is a math major. So, you know, just to be safe. Just to be safe. I understand with math you're supposed to double check. So feel free to double check the numbers of an admittedly not very trustworthy source. I mean, come on. You've seen me fuck up entire words like 6 times in the last 38 minutes. Clearly, you don't want to trust my math immediately. So you almost have to go ask Dwyer about it. He is, as we know, the expert on math in our league. He's the only one we know pursuing degrees based on it. So, logically, you should, all of you, every single person in the league, every single active person who sees this, 100 and something people, you should ask Dwyer. Make sure that 30% is greater than 0%. Because that's how math works. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, what else we got? I feel like I was gonna I don't know if I can do the overreact, and then it kind of feels like I'm doing the overreact a little bit. Let's talk about one of the most highly contested conversations all season. Who is the running back of the year? Well, it's not me, first of all. I know I'm kind of in the group, but I'm clearly not in the group yet. As a rookie performance, I will fucking take it. I'm going to hit 1,000 yards, which is what my GM told me I'd be able to do. Very happy with that. It's a great rookie year. I'm cool with just running from it. But let's talk about the obvious. Running back of the year is for 3 people. Okay? When I do this, it makes it more dramatic. Also, I can't really move my middle finger and ring finger very well, depending on what you do. Try to do it yourself. It's very difficult. Compelling. Anyway, Marcus Brown, or Marquise Brown? Which one is he in this league? Marcus Brown. Young TB's player is got his usual shtick going on. He has a lot of yards, scores a lot of touchdowns. He is the backbone of that entire offense with a young wide receiver core and a young quarterback. It is what it is. His yards per carry, not great. It's not. It's barely over 4.1. I think going by the math I'm looking at here, 4.1 might be rounded up too. Which might also be true for me, by the way. Anyway, then you've got Canton, Jared Canton, on the San Jose SaberCats. One of the best offenses in the league. He's rocking 200 less yards on the ground. He's rocking 5 less touchdowns, but he has a much greater yards per carry. He's more effective. That's going to be the argument in his favor. I don't think it's a great argument. I think you're going to end up third best in this argument, Ken. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the one person who... No, actually, both guys up here have a podcast, don't they? Fuck. Running Back Podcast League. Yeah. By the way, I have huge hands. This is the thing you don't really get to see on the forums or whatever, but I have massive hands. This is a normal beer bottle. Did he just look at the screen and randomly react to shit? Yes, I did. Anyway, Jared Canton is a very good running back. He's probably going to win this award at some point. This is not the year. I'm sorry. Marquise Brown is a more get shit done running back. And you could go with what if we did this? What if we switched the roles and blah blah blah, and ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. I've never understood that phrase. That's the thing people say. It really is. That's not even me just fucking around. That's really a thing people say that I don't quite understand. But it's also the truth. Brown of cheeks. Sentence over. I'm sorry. If it was just between the two of you, he clearly wins. I apologize. That's what it is. But there's another contender. It's Ricky Adams, Orange County Otters. And while his strict running numbers haven't been as high up, he's 6th, I think. Yeah, I'm literally looking at it and making sure I'm counting correctly. This is why you should go double check on Matt Dwyer. He's got over 750 yards in 2 more games, so I don't think he's going to hit 1,000, but he's also got 9 touchdowns on the ground, which is as many as Jared can. But then when you add receiving, not rushing. I'm already on the rushing page, Adam. I don't have to hit the rushing tab again. When you account for what they do through the air, it becomes a whole different story. Because Ricky Adams has 888 yards passing, receiving, and 8 touchdowns. That's 9 touchdowns on the ground, 8 touchdowns in the air. That's 17 touchdowns. Now, there are going to be people who go, but Adam, he's listed as a fullback. And I'm going to say, but a fullback is still a fucking running back. It's not a fullback of the year position that we have. No, it's a kind of running back. Like, but it's a fullback, not a running back. That's not a real argument. What the fuck? He's a running back. Get over it. Head motions. Some Paula Abdul in here. So you have to count what the dude's done. 77 catches, 888 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's a total of 17 times he hit the end zone. Now, that's it. Brown's got 3 touchdowns in the air. Brown's got a decent, he's not great, but he's decent in the air. I think an equal amount of touchdowns. It gets a little spicy there, doesn't it? And again, no disrespect to Jared Canton. You've done a great job for your team. You're just not in this conversation anymore. I'm sorry. Like, the league has moved. I don't know where I'm going with this. the other running backs have outpaced you at this point through more versatile use or more concentrated use for Adams and Brown, respectively. You're the third place guy. Sorry, I don't know why I keep spending all this time on the third place guy. I think, you know what it is? It's because Sweetwater's a good dude. And I don't want to be like, I feel like I'm like, yeah, your shit's meaningless. And that's not what I'm saying. So I feel like I'm going overboard and making sure he understands his shit's not meaningless. It's just, you're just not winning this particular race, this particular season. Now, as to which of them actually deserves, whew, it gets a little rough, doesn't it? It's a little tough because there's always the conversation of what's a real. Now, usually that kind of conversation in NSFL terms is reserved for people like Eric Kennedy, who did 90% of his damage through the air and was barely really a running back. But Adams has been very both-sided. He's been both-sided. He's been on the ground. He's been through the air. He's been a big dual weapon for the team with the winningest record in the league, which will probably go back and hurt him. Because when you are arguing awards, as GMs do, a little bit of inside baseball for y'all who've never been in the GM room. When it's the guy you want to win, the argument you make is a better offense actually hinders someone. So, you have to vote for them because all these other weapons and targets and stuff that can get the ball do get the ball. And so his numbers aren't inflated by them, they're actually diminished by them. And when it's the guy you don't want to win, you argue that, well, that great offense with all those things is the only reason he has all those stats because it keeps drives going for longer and he gets more opportunities. It's really a matter of who do I want to win and how can I craft the argument to fit that. So it could really go either way. I don't know. I don't know how this one's going to go. It's going to be tough. Let's call a spade a spade. Is that phrase racist? Like, I always assumed it was just about, like, the digging of them or the card. But do I need to Google that now? Fuck. Let's call things what they are. There are going to be GMs or HO members or both who will vote against Brown specifically because young TB is very vocal and aggressive about defending his case. He's very passionate about wanting this award. He is every year since he's gotten here. And there are going to be people who quietly or not so quietly use that as a reason to vote against him instead of anything that actually happened on the field. Or they'll say, well, they were about equal, so I'm using this against him. It is what it is. You can probably tell from my body language, I'm not a huge fan of that. But you can't, like hold somebody down and be like, no, you must vote the way I want you to vote. You can't really do that. That's not... I'm pretty sure that's illegal in, most senses. Mildly unethical. But I have a feeling that is ultimately going to be what tips the balance in favor of Ricky Adams, and that Ricky Adams is going to win running back of the year. There you have it. My prediction, which may or may not end up coming true. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. I don't know why I'm adjusting my shirt like I just did something. I said a thing. Adjust my shirt. Other than that, I guess there's not that much going on in the league, is there? I mean, other than all the things going on in the league, there's not that much going on in the league. So I think that covers us mostly. I guess we could talk about... Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I forgot for a minute. The discussion today that I actually chimed into made me think of some things. NSFL and its biggest current issue. ManicMad36 posted it, not coincidentally, directly after Majisu. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. That's how I say it in my head, buddy. After he did the whole Crush doesn't add up with TPEs off here and there was an immediate response, of course, which I am just going to go ahead and say was completely connected with, oh my god, please don't put these things in public first. Yada, yada, yada. Whole big discussion on that. Should we just publicly say shit? I found a thing. Publicly say shit. Yes. It's a question. It is a question. Because it's tough. It's tough. When you're an HO and you've got 1,000 things going on at any given point, you've got potential rule changes always on the board. You've got GMs who are unhappy about this particular nuance or that particular nuance at all times. You've got people trying to look ahead. What's next? Why isn't recruiting hitting 35 recruits every single season? That's not like a exaggeration. That's a real question that's been asked. You got people going, this part isn't working, that part isn't working. You've got whatever random stupid shit pops up that season. You've got all of that, and then and then random stuff that pops up. But I already said that. So this season, of course, there was the whole controversy with Casey Colby, because controversy and Casey Colby go sort of hand in hand, where he felt like he was being targeted because his XP or EXP was not updated preseason. Said a few things on the topic. My number one thing being, if I'm in HO, my first thought is, hey, let's make sure this guy is accurate. No matter what else we do, let's make sure the shit kicker is accurate so as to avoid any issues. So, not only not doing that, but kind of being like, meh, when he finds something, it's not the best look. I don't care how many arguments you can make about EXP doesn't matter, or blah blah this or blah blah that. It's a perception game, folks. If you just go meh to someone's complaint, and there's already a noted hostility between you, that's fucking terrible perception. And you need to address that. Like, you fucking need to. I don't give a shit. You need to. You need to look good as much as you need to actually do good. Because you can do all the good in the world, and if it doesn't look good, it's not gonna matter. Because you are not fucking employing these people in this league. They're all here voluntarily. So if it doesn't look good, people are just gonna leave. Like, you don't get to fucking sit there and just be smug about it. Oh, well, we did the job, so it doesn't matter. Yes, it the fuck does! It fucking does! You gotta look good. You cannot not look good. I don't understand how, 10 seasons of Dermot telling people this over and over and over again didn't fucking sink into some people's brains. You gotta fucking nail the perception game, because if you don't, dead. Period. So when someone like that comes along and actually has an issue, you can't just, laugh it the fuck off. Because in the back of their minds, so many people are going to be thinking, what happens when it's me? What happens when I displease HO? And then something goes wrong with me and they don't give a shit. Is that how it's going to be? We could all be Casey Colby at one point. That is... Whew. It's true, though. So I get his point. Even if he's using a very Casey way of expressing it, he's not wrong. He's not. And the fact that he even said as much today, finally after all this, was like, listen, if y'all had just said some shit, it'd have been fine. There would have been one thread where people talk shit, which always happens, and that would have been it. Yeah, that would have happened. That would have exactly been what happened. But now it's become a full season distraction because people didn't take the time to really deal with it. It was a, well, no, we did it right, so shut the fuck up. That's what the attitude was. No matter what attitude you wanted to convey, that's what happened. We did it right, shut the fuck up. Your shit doesn't matter. Again, not employees. People can just fucking leave. They can. They don't feel like shit's gonna be handled, they can just fucking leave. So, something needs to change in that regard. Some sort of perception or idea of what it is being done and how it's being portrayed needs to change. Because this kind of stuff can't happen. Because what happens next time if it's somebody popular, for lack of a better term? What happens if the next person who gets hit with something horrible and it doesn't get fixed is like Raven? Well, granted, he's in HO now, but whatever. Just got there. I'm actually kind of exempting him from this whole conversation because he literally just got there. What happens then? You just gotta be like, nope, we did the job, and that's all you need to care about. Because it's not all everybody needs to care about. You're wrong. So, in that light, when it comes to, we should keep things quiet and let HO handle everything and just trust the process. No, it's a fucking stupid idea. It's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. And it's a stupid idea because you're dealing with real people, not fucking robots. Except, of course, on the offensive line. It's a stupid idea because people don't work that way. Because people see suggestions like that and they immediately go, oh, somebody wants to cover up some shit. It doesn't matter if there's nothing being covered up or nobody's even thinking about it that way. People are told, human beings all the time are told, hey, don't look over here. And immediately human beings want to be like, I need to stare at nothing but this for the next hour just because I was told not to. That's how fucking people work. Like, you can't, no, it's not going to work to just be like, we should just go to HO. The process. Everybody should just shut up, and everything's fine, and it's all gonna work out. That's not how it's gonna be. It's not. You need more visibility. No matter how much people might want to hold on to their secrets, you need more visibility. And that's I don't know how to say it better. I don't. Like, people want visibility. Give them visibility, or else. If you need more than that to understand it, maybe you shouldn't be in the position you're in. Got unexpectedly emotional, didn't it? That's the truth. And now I'm seeing things like Colby saying, oh, I'm genuinely considering leaving again. And I'm sure in some corridors in the league, that's like a, yay, he might leave. It's fine. I get it. He's an unpopular rabble-rouser. It happens. It's fine. But I want to address you directly, Colby. Don't leave. Please don't leave. The league needs you in it. The league is better when you are in it. I understand a few people are just going to be like, that thought. They're fucking idiots. The league needs someone like you. The league needs that person who's going to be like, hey, Un Minuto, whatever. There's some bullshit here, and we need to address it. And even if it turns out to not be bullshit 9 times out of 10, catching that 1 in 10 is important. The league needs you. And the league is more interesting right now than it's been in a very long time. Not to say the league wasn't interesting before, it's just more interesting. We've got more people doing more things. We've got, has returned and been nothing but involved and good. Noble has come back, of all fucking people, and he's been great. He's been great since his return. I don't care if you don't like what he did before, he's been great since his return. If you only judge him by his return, it's been great. Like, I understand that's going to be difficult for people. Same thing as with her. I understand it's difficult for some people, especially to judge just what we've seen since. But this league is super goddamn interesting right now. There's all kinds of shit happening. You've got major recreates coming down the pipe. You've got teams that have brand new identities other than the Sabercats, who seem to be doing exactly what they've always done. let's just shuffle everybody around, but still suck when it matters. You got all kinds of shit. Please don't leave, okay? Just don't. Just don't leave. Just don't. Stay involved. Do your shit. Be your trouble-causing, rabble-rousing self, because every group of people kind of needs one of those people. And of course, you know, NACHL, you know, put some attention there too. Which obviously you already have. I think you helped with the archetypes. But we need to do something about perception. We need, like I said in my response, I'm pretty sure if you had a person who just sat there and just watched what Ajo does, 95% of the time, what they're going to do is report back, like, yeah, they did everything right. Yeah, everything that you don't like that they did it all above board, they did it right, they took their time, here's what they were doing, here's all the work they were putting in. Because HO tends to move slowly, methodically, and thoroughly. Tends to. There are situations where they haven't. It happens. Like punishing Casey Colby for a rule that technically isn't on the books. It happened. Like, you don't have to fucking like it, but that's what you did. But for most part, the person who is neutral and watches is going to end up agreeing with them. That's how it's going to be. I can tell you that having been on both fucking sides. But having someone who sees the inner workings and sees that shit's being done right is kind of important. I mean, if you look at real world examples, almost every large company's got someone who like internally polices what's going on. That's it. I don't really need more examples than that. It's a thing that is well known and exists. The idea that, nope, I'm infallible, so I don't need someone looking over my shoulder. It's just the ultimate arrogance. Whether it's intended or not, like, that's how it's gonna come across. But that's gonna be the serious portion of our show today. So we're gonna just take a deep cleansing breath. Just breathe in and clear your mind and some other hippie bullshit, and just take your beer. All right, let's do one bit of silliness before I cut off here. Nope, I have a text message. Right, pictures of butts. Yay. And that is. What the fuck was it gonna be? I had the thought like 2 minutes ago. Oh, I'm gonna do that like when I'm done with this, and then like now I've forgotten about what it was. Fuck the Hawks. This face. Just mention this face all the time. If you're trying to hold out and not finish too fast, just think of my face right now. That should probably help you. If you're under 18, just ignore the last 45 seconds. All right. Apparently I don't have anything else. I'm gonna remember it in like 20 minutes and be super pissed that like I didn't get it on camera, I guess. So, yeah. What's with all the fucking kickers? Another kicker just rejoined since it's Prince Kyle, but what's with all the fucking kickers lately? Like, all the kickers are like, oh god, I hate being a kicker. Can I please be anything but a kicker? And then other people are like, kicker! I'm gonna be a kicker! Yeah! I'm gonna go inactive in a season and a half! Woo! Like, I don't get that. I'm still stalling, so I can try to figure out what the fuck I was trying to say. But Orange County Otters are gonna win the Ultimates against, we'll say the Yeti. It's interesting if it's the Yeti. I think it's very interesting if it's the Yeti to go from like possibly having the number 2 or 3 pick to having the 7th pick, even though you have very little chance. But Jesus Christ, if the Yeti were to fucking win the Ultimates, holy shit. If they were to get there and then get super lucky to win. What would we even do? What would we even do? Do we just shut down the league at that point? Like, okay, it's over. We're done. The Yeti won. We're done. We're done. We're all gonna go join the EFL now. No, that would be crazy. But I guess it is possible. It is super possible. Not super possible. I way overstated it. It's super possible. It's just possible. Still can't remember what the fuck I was gonna say. Let me see. Overreacting to teams. I guess they didn't really overreact. Just more or less just analyze teams. I didn't talk about the draft class. Talked about that issue that's going on. Talked a little bit about my own player, which I'm excited for. Talked about the Running Back of the Year award, which is always, big deal. Some of the other awards are a little more contentious. Quarterback of the Year is going to be tough. Who do you really give that to? It's going to be hard not to give it to Showbiz or Maximus, maybe Gambino. We'll see. Probably Showbiz or Maximus. Like, there's not Rookie of the Year. I can't really go into because obviously I'm super biased. Like, clearly I'm super biased about who the Rookie of the Year should be. It should be me. I fucking have done it. It should be me. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Do we have a defensive Rookie of the Year? Yeah, we do. Okay. I never remember shit. I actually have to look shit up all the time. As some of you know what it is. A defensive Rookie of the Year is super fucking easy too. Let's see. There's one answer. One. Lejeune. Lejeune or Lejeune? I assume Lejeune is like, vaguely French bullshit. 95 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 5 passes defense for a linebacker. Not too bad. Yeah, that's a no sacks though, which is interesting. They use him as a coverage linebacker, which might actually come in handy if they do get to be Ultimates, because having a very solid coverage linebacker against a very heavy passing team, which the Otters will be, is pretty good. And I think the Hawks are going to be heavily passing team over the last couple of weeks too. Get the combination of who their opponents are, and also Slim's trying to get points in his fantasy league, and both the people in front of him having both his running backs. Somewhere he's like, "You motherfucker! I was never gonna do that," but. And by somewhere I mean Brooklyn. He said Brooklyn, like, alright, I need 10 guys. I'm tired of this dude's bullshit. We're going to Vegas. We're going to kick this dude's ass. He would never do that. That's not a real thing. By the way, in case anyone doesn't understand, that's not something SLM would do. That's not. So I'm just fucking around. I know there's a lot of new people in the league who don't get all the older, long-running, like, jokes or whatever. So if I snipe it like somebody like an SLM or Jiggly or something, there's like long running shit we just do back and forth there. It's not like TO. Did I? Now I'm just rambling again. I guess I've been rambling the whole time, but I'm not actually expecting to be paid for this full hour. For the record, like I understand that somebody's gonna be like, "Listen, dude, you had like 40 minutes of real content in there and 20 minutes of random bullshit. You left the screen at one point." I get that. I recently remembered that at one point I called. Never mind. Not important. Don't you hate that when people do that? Like, I'm going to tell you 5% of a story, just enough that you stop and listen, and then I'm just going to say, never mind, and not talk about it anymore. Yeah. So let's do a little bit of real overreacting, okay? All right. We're gonna make you sit through an hour and 10 minutes of bullshit for the entertaining shit you actually wanted. Here we go. Ready? Let's start with let's do it in order of record. We'll go worst to first. Why not? Yellowknife Race. The fuck are you doing? You won 2 games. Two. That's a horrible amount. You went home and got crushed by 34 points in your last game. You should all just retire. Nothing any of you are doing is real football. You could put 9-year-old girls on the field and they would probably perform equally to what that is in this team. Like, really? What is really? This is Ryan Applehort? This is the best Ryan Applehort can do, is 17 of 39 for a 195 and 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Yeah, God. Best quarterback of his draft class is starting to sound like licked the least amount of fucking carpet was a terrible choice there. Licked the least amount of cement in his class. I don't know where the fuck this is why I usually write this shit down. Either way, this team is terrible and openly rooting for sucking in order to get the number 1 pick. So, your supposed big shot rookie running back didn't even average 3 goddamn yards per carry. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? That's your future of your team, is that guy? Jesus. I've heard of dick jokes, but this dick is a joke. Ugh, I fucking almost nailed that delivery. We're gonna do it again, because it's my fucking video. I've heard of dick jokes, but this dick is the joke. Boom! I'm not gonna make you guys want to get another beer yet. Alright, second worst record. The New Orleans second line. We suck now. Yeah, that's about as much effort as I'm gonna put into that. It's a rebuilding team, for God's sakes. 5 and 7. No, we got 2 5 and 7 teams, and one of them might make the playoffs. So I'm gonna go ahead and list the other team as the next worst team. Arizona Outlaws. You guys remember when you didn't suck? Me neither. And it's been so many seasons now. You can't blame me anymore. It's been 7 seasons now since I have not been the GM. Y'all have had time. And your lead tackler is still the guy you make fun of me for drafting. Y'all just suck. You're just bad. Maybe we should have moved to Seattle. Props to HO for not letting us move to Seattle, by the way. Good job. That really worked out for everybody. Mostly Seattle, I think, actually. All those fictional people who live in Seattle are like, oh, thank God, I don't have to try to support this bullshit. This team is terrible. I'm so desperate that they have a quarterback named Fitzpatrick. I guess that's pretty desperate. It's pretty desperate. I don't know if I actually said about your leading tackler was true. Oh, it actually is true. I totally just randomly said that shit, and it was true. Your leading tackler is the guy y'all make fun of me for drafting. I was really just talking shit. I didn't expect that to be accurate. Fuck. No, okay, I can't read. Y'all. I can't read. I can't do math. I don't understand technology. I can't talk. I've been drinking. Although I'm only 2 beers in and it's only 3 o'clock. Hit me up around 6 o'clock on Discord, which is 3 hours from now. Now let's see how toasty Adam really is. It's my day off, by the way. In case anyone, I don't like fucking drink before I go to work. I know people. There we go. There's a topic. I found a topic completely accidentally. Ooh, my wife is calling. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this recording.